so we were up there, and
That's
they
awesome.
come walking in, and they were big. Northwest Catholic,
6'4", 6'5".
huge. Okay.
Guys for waiting.
And we got beat. They got beat by Bristol Central by 20. We're good.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the March 23rd Park and Rec meeting. My name is Jim O'Connor, and I'm the chairman. We'll go around and introduce ourselves. Well,
Bill Nicoletti.
Debbie Davis.
Linda Cancer.
Jack Pritchard.
Deborah Slatonic.
Dan Lynch.
welcome, everyone. We obviously have some guests, so we'll get right into it, and we'll start. Tom, you want to come up? We have our guest for our soccer update, and I'm sure Tom will give us up to date on a lot of other things. So,
You want to do your, approve your minutes and old business first, or do you want me to?
no, we'll do you first. It's
No, if
public
you-
dialogue.
you wanna
We'll do it about that.
that's it.
That's all right. Unless, yeah,
No, you
let's
just-
just do it there.
Okay, I'm on
two.
the agenda.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
Either way.
It's all the same. We're very informal here at Park and Rec.
Yeah, I only get 2 minutes at the selectmen meetings.
You get time here. You're good.
Good, excellent. Tom Paisano, 523 Fairway Road, Orange, Connecticut. I do represent Orange Soccer Association. That started in 1986, so it's been a few years. Nonetheless, the good news with, and thank you for having me here. Once a year we do a review of the soccer. And it's good for the public to know what is going on. And right now, we're seeing an all-time high. 350 kids signed up in the fall, which just floored me. And we're looking at the same thing for this spring. Part of that is the Board of Ed should pay attention to this because they are a younger group. They definitely are a lot of kids that are 5 and under. So that's fantastic. And after talking to the Board of Ed, which I do, the Dr. Scarpetti and the assistants there, I was made sure that they had no concerns about putting parking behind Mariel Tracy. They're not interested in that. We will have our program behind Mariel Tracy, hopefully for years to come. But my concern was that at some point in the future, and I will be showing you that tonight, the truth is we should be moving that program at some point to Fred Wolf Park. And we should be doing that as the original plan produced by somewhat different committee, but the Orange Park and Rec Commission did years ago. It was actually 2013. I was part of that. There is a phase six of Fred Wolf Park that would accommodate exactly what I'm trying to do. I really believe someday we need to move the venue of Mariel Tracy to Fred Wolf Park. Perfect idea. You'd have everything there that you would need. Do the baseball fields, so softball is not cut out, and we could still accommodate the Board of Ed, which is in need of parking. But one thing I just need to discuss about our program is we are going to have it. We have travel teams. Fred Wolf Park is a great place. Fred Wolf Park will be used again this year. Part of the overflow and COVID reasons, we've been having kids play at Fred Wolf Park on Sundays. So there's more than expected. And, I currently have concerns about scheduling games there. And what I can say is I know at least Jim O'Connor has been there. Jim Renee's not here tonight, but he's been there on Saturdays and Sundays. I don't know if all of you have been there all day or have been exposed to that. And I know for sure our first selectman has never been there on Sundays. I've been there for 22 years, 20 Sundays every year. And I know what happens there. And what I'm concerned about right now is on the days that we have both Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sundays, those particular days, correct me if I'm wrong because you've been there, on those days, the place is completely full. There is no parking, no additional parking, okay? And I can guarantee you further, on May 20th and May 21st and May 22nd of this year, there will be no parking anywhere at Fred Wolf Park with the existing parking that we have. So what am I worried about, right? That's great. We have a lot of kids. We got a lot of parking. What I'm worried about is now we have a plan that we're going to do more there. okay? And now it seems that somebody is going to come up, and I've already been approached and said, well, wait a minute, if you put a playground there, you're going to have to cancel the games. We can't. Parking lot's full. No one else can show up. We're going to cancel games so that we can use the playground. That's not fair. That's not what the playground should have done to Fred Wolf Park, not when we have additional plans. So at this point, I am making it clear that I want this board to, at some point, put your input in. I've watched every meeting. You have not approved the location of the playground. Yet we are proceeding with a $500,000 playground, and it's going to be propped someplace. I've been told, clearly been told by the selectmen, that you approved it all. No, that was on public meeting last time. That's not true. I've been to every one of your meetings. I've listened to every one of your OGATs when you guys were doing COVID meetings. It was never approved by this board. So I'd like to go around the room and find out each one of your inputs, what you think should be done. Because I'm not taking responsibility. I need somebody to take responsibility saying, this board approved it. If there's any accidents, any problems while we're producing these programs, the responsibility would come back to the town as it should appropriately. I don't see that happening right now. I was there the other day, and a child on a bike with a little girl following him, a car missed him by inches. And that was only me, one car, and the kids. So I'm concerned, okay? I'm concerned. And, you know, the problem that we have right now is that no matter what we do, something's going to have to be closed because we wouldn't just allow the playground to be fully open at the same time all these 500 cars are going to be coming in and out. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We have certain days that the traffic is busy at both locations, but we've never had we never have had overflow onto the cul-de-sac. It's always been appropriate. Obviously, when you do new things, there are new adventures. We did have the playground committee here, gave us an update. We've had opportunity for input. I think everyone here has had an opportunity to voice their thoughts. Town government works many different ways. You are right, we did have a plan set, now it's 9 years ago. Sometimes plans change. We went and, originally this is this Office of the Army of Civil Engineers are the ones who really put us in a bind because we had a plan to do a road. And that was what we had to go to Plan B, Plan C, and Plan D. We aren't privy as a committee to a lot of opportunities at the state level. That's what we trust our selectmen to do, our group of selectmen and first selectmen. They have opportunities for financially. We're a small town. We run a lot of activities for a small town in a park and rec, and it takes a village to run it. Public Works helps us. The seniors help us. We have lots of people that help our department. We don't do this anything by ourselves.
That's a very good point. Through debates, through the election, we were told that the playground committee would have public input in review of the design. There was one meeting, it was a pre-meeting to the design, nothing became of it. The public has never had input into a $500,000 playground that's coming to this town that'll be open to every town and kids from it's a state money, so there's no stopping kids from playing. My concern is that if the parking lot's full and I stop somebody coming in from Bridgeport or New Haven because there's no place to park or we've got kids that are playing in the fields, my concern is that that's a problem. So you might say, well, what am I complaining? Everyone says I don't like playgrounds. That is not true at all. I'll be the first one to volunteer for this playground. I was the first one that built the playground behind Mariel Tracy. No doubt about it. I ran the volunteer program totally, myself and Denise Murdo. And we built that playground. It was there for years. That's the commitment that I have. It's not I'm against any playground. The truth is, what we have is we've been told, and we're squeezing in a corner because of first selectman decided to do that. The playground committee did not approve it. I went to their meeting. The playground committee clearly told me, Tom, that's where Jimmy told us to build it. Tom, the powers to be, well, Lynn isn't here tonight because she can swear, that's what she told me. The powers to be will tell us where to build it. Well, then what is the big secret? And what solution do I have? It is clear, and I will pass this around.
I was on this committee, yeah.
Of course, it is clear the plan was to build a Phase 6. What happened was we're protecting people. We have 15 to 18 acres. Steve isn't here. Steve has to protect himself. That has been farmed for 22 years. We've been farming on land that was for open space, passive recreation, open space. That was how we designed that park. I was a part of those committees. I've talked to all the selectmen. We have entrance at all the exits, entrance in several places to get to this land. So why don't we open that land? Instead, what we've done is taken that land and we've leased it out every 2 years to people for $150 rather than use it for the park and the playground that could protect these 600 kids that are there every Sunday. So yeah, that's why I'm up here. And yes, that's why I'm concerned. And yes, we will be going and finding out if we can get a survey done and perhaps a petition. This is not the place for a playground, even though we've invested a ton of money. And now we're fencing in something at Fred Wolf Park that this board approved, a 6-foot fence. Instead, we're fencing in everything, and we're not even using the land. So we need to get you people involved. I know it's state money, and I know what the truth is. We all are afraid of our first selectman. Understand, I'm not for or against anybody. Understand, I'm the one that the kids trust. I take care of those children like they're my own, and they trust me. My reputation precedes me. So I don't disagree with any playground. I want a playground. I want it in the right place. And I think this town should handle it.
Thank you, Tom. I think we gave you, your voice is meant and it's been heard.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, and we appreciate Orange Soccer. Does anyone have questions for Tom? Because this, obviously, we got a little bit off topic, but main thing is Orange Soccer is a very vibrant, wonderful activity, and we applaud everyone that volunteers their time. But, obviously soccer is bigger than ever, is what Tom said. Do you guys have any questions of Tom? No? No? Okay.
Jim,
Yes, Linda.
have there been any alternate plans? Have there been any suggestions, for instance, of having a shuttle bus come with the people and then not have cars there? Have room for...
We, for us, and that was my point. Presently speaking right now, I'm up there a lot. We have not run into it. Has it been near capacity? Yes. But I think what Tom was doing is speculating if we add the playground on. I can't speak to that. That would be, the playground would add, they know the size. They would have all that info. They're making adjustments from my understanding, and that would be right now because there was a special playground committee that was appointed at the town level. They came and talked to us. We could ask that question. That's Lynn. Mm-hmm. We could always invite them back again.
They will
Yeah.
be back.
Yeah, see, they will be back. They've always been open. Yeah, we could do that. And they have never not answered any questions that we have. I think everything that Tom has been concerned about has been brought to them. And we've been listening. Yes, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, my understanding is that the state money went into just
Can you please
equipment.
come up to the podium
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
state your name, just so
Thank you.
we can hear you on
Sorry.
the broadcast. Thank
Be
you so
glad
much.
to.
Yeah, say your name and your address.
Hi, I'm Dee Dee Lieboff. I live at 660 Broadview Road. We've been here for, I can't tell you how long. My kids grew up here. They went through the
Well,
school
welcome.
system here.
Again.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I am in full support of this man because he volunteers. He's not a paid individual. He's been working for this town with this whole soccer program forever. My kids were, I guess, around 3 and 4 and 5 when they started in the program, the rec program, and they're now in their 40s. You know, I mean, we're talking about a man who has volunteered all year long. I know because we do things, we help him, but nobody does as much work for this town and volunteers like Tom.
Agreed.
Okay? You've got 15 acres, which I have walked. I walked the entire thing. I think it's great that somebody farms it, but you know what? That was arranged, if I'm not mistaken, for the school. They were going to put the high school there for Orange, and they were going to put fields for Orange. Why does it become an agricultural field for someone to lease for $150 when there should be, the soccer field should move there, the playground should move there? It would be safe for everybody, and we could accommodate all kinds of programs. It is a very flat, beautiful
It is, yeah.
15 acres. Honestly, I walked the whole thing.
It's gorgeous.
And as you come in to what would be the playground, it's downright dangerous. Beside the fact that you're going by everybody's house, it's supposedly going to be fenced on one side. The kids are probably kids who are siblings of the kids playing soccer, so they're going to run back and forth. The fence is designed for only part of it. It's crazy. Why would you put a playground in a dangerous place? I mean, I was an educator for a long time. I wouldn't want that to happen. I work with kids at risk. This is putting them at risk. Tom's right. He saw, you know, a kid almost get hit. I've seen that before. It's, you know, you can't do that. So somebody's got to object. You can't be overridden by a first selectman that wants it there because he wants to keep the farm on the other side. That shouldn't even be there if there's something that's of nature that benefits children.
I appreciate your comments.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
Can I add one question? Just to clarify.
Yeah, Tom, come on up.
There's reasons for everything. There's reasons for everything in life. The reason Hollow Road was built originally, I was there at every meeting. Skip Clark, myself, Ralph Oakenquist, and others that you might know. We're all in the meeting. We brought that road in as a temporary road.
Yep.
Why was it temporary, you ask? Well, I'll give you the answer. The answer was we wanted the road to come in either from Peck School, that's a paper road.
That was our dream, yeah.
That was a dream. Or what we call Little Peck off Meeting House. That was approved. But there was crops in the field. Okay? There was crops in the field because the Hines boys were doing farming there for years while it was Amity land. So we just continued to let it. Part of the town charter, if there's crops in the field, you can't take over their crops or lease the land. You can't you go over it. So we didn't pursue that. But there was never any restriction to coming in through that way. We do have a selectman that started a urban legend that said, no, we can't come in through Peck because some money transferred. That's not true. Understand, it's not true. I talked to Bob Souza. I talked to all the lawyers. I looked at every minute that I have. I can talk to Liz DeLuca, who lives right next door. There was no money exchange. I ran Orange Soccer all during that time. No money was sent to Orange Soccer. That's an urban legend that started by our first selectman again. I question the motives because we can use that land. Right now, there is an entrance and exit. Drive by. The farm machines, harvesters go in and out of there all summer. Crow guns go off all summer long. So don't tell me we can't use the land. We're using the land. So at any rate, that is the reason why the road came in through And I promised the neighbors who live on Hollow Road when we did that, because I know the guy who was developing it, and I promised them that would be a temporary road. That's why it's just a little road. But the answer was, everybody on that road, all the neighbors that live there, the Romans, the guy at the corner, they all have moved out, and some of them passed away. So they haven't complained. They should have complained. We have humps in the road due to one of the neighbors to slow the cars down. Or God help us, we got to slow the cars down. The high school boys that practice lacrosse and soccer just go hell bent for election down there. They're running late for a game. So my point was, there is a reason for everything. You need to know the whole story, and we need to get involved. This isn't, one person in this town is not going to rule it. I'm telling you now, we are going public. I'm going to try to find out how many people in town want this playground where it's at. And I would have hoped tonight, I don't have to write this letter to say this board has not approved that spot for the playground. But apparently, I'm not hearing a motion for anybody to approve that spot. So that's the way it will come down, and we're going to publish that. Okay, I can get you a copy beforehand, so you know what's going to go in the papers. Okay?
Thank you, Tom.
You have a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
I'll listen.
Something's missing here, trying to listen, thank you. Something's missing here when there's a field there and there's an optional field elsewhere. Why are we not looking and considering the two together, which is the better place, et cetera?
As I explained, it was.
This is the first I've heard of the second field.
I can show you the whole master plan, but that's just one page. That's
Talking about the field that was
So I can
original.
answer part of that.
Pardon?
We have a comprehensive plan that had multiple
Right,
phases.
and that I remember.
And that was always hypothetical. We at this board, we don't, the land is the town land. That land right now is not feasible because
so it's
it's leased out. We at Park and Rec don't get involved in any leasing. That's all done at the Board of Selectmen, not the first selectman, the Board of Selectmen. So all the selectmen have input on that. I don't know the length or times of the lease.
2 years. It started a year ago.
Yeah,
It'll be over.
That's something that Park and Rec has never been involved with.
Right.
We would never get involved in any of those transactions of any open space or any land that's done in town. That's just not that's not one of our objectives or thoughts. It's not
Right.
something we would, any land that's been available, that's been unused, we work with the selectmen, and it's our job to go then to the selectmen and ask them, can we use that land? And then we already usually have a plan before we go to them. And that's the process that I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's the process that we follow.
Well, Jim, that's perfect. That's my next segue. The lease on that land given to one resident in the town for 22 years, the lease on that land will be up March 2023. Okay? So within a year or so from now, because it was a 2-year lease. At that point in time, I'm going to ask this board to go to the selectmen and ask if we could plant grass. I don't care if you ask Tom Paisano to plant the grass. I'm just another resident. Someone wants to plant corn, I can plant grass. But if I plant grass, we can use it for soccer, we could use it for lacrosse, we could use it for rugby, you could use it for recreation that the park was originally designed for. That's why we had Phase 6. Are we just going to plant corn for the next 50 years on a piece of property that the town bought called Fred Wolf Park that we sweat and worked hard for? Of course we're not. And I'm not protecting anyone in town. Understand, I'm for the kids. My kids are gone. You know, my daughter had a baby in Boston last week. So my grandson will be up in Boston. So I'm not protecting anybody. I'm telling you just what is the truth and what is coming down. But I don't want that to be corn in 2023. Okay. I don't know who will be selectmen or who will be on this board, but I will be here, and I want to plant grass. And I want the okay from this board that I can start planting grass.
So we've had.
Well, Jim, that
Thank
would
you.
mean
Yep.
that doesn't come under our purview.
Yeah,
So
it still does.
It's got to go through the Board of Selectmen.
Yes.
Before we can even.
So we're the wrong avenue in that sense.
Right.
That what we did is when Tom, I think, brought some of his concerns, the concerns haven't changed in the last 6 months. Tom has been very consistent with his concerns. I didn't hear anything tonight that is new with his concerns. Those concerns were then, we then asked the playground committee to come. We discussed with the playground committee some of those concerns, Linda. We asked them. They also then offered that they could come back again. They would come back to us to answer more questions that we have for the public. You know, we could reiterate these questions. I don't know the specific, I can't answer for the playground committee. I do know that schools are not locations for playgrounds when you want to use them for the town. Because during school hours, no one that's part of that school can be there. In today's security, we're not going to do that.
And including after-school.
And after-school programs.
So
So
that goes
So the
6
other
o'clock.
playground we have is the one behind Town Hall or
it's not usable because school.
Right,
Yeah.
but when it is on the weekend, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
do we have a parking problem? Do we know?
Only day we have a parking problem is when we have Sunday soccer.
Soccer.
Okay.
We use the library, we use the town hall, we use the volunteer fire, we use everything that day. I was part of it for
Is
10
that
years.
because of the soccer or is that because of the playground?
That's
Because of
soccer.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we could go around. Tom is very passionate. And no one will question his commitment to this town and his work to Orange Soccer. It's been very fruitful for all of us. We appreciate it. We have grown over the years, and Tom knows that with soccer. You know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we didn't even have Fred Wolf to offer to soccer or lacrosse. Now we do. And those programs are flourishing, and the kids are having lots of great enrichment. And that's where, you know, we have to go slow and develop things. And that's what I think our plan is. Anyone else? Okay, we're going to move on with
Thanks,
our
Jim.
regular meeting. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everyone. Okay, approval of minutes, our February minutes. Can I get a motion for approval? Okay, I have a motion to approve. Second, Deb. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Old business, questions from previous meeting. Dan,
I'll go through all that in my director.
thank
report.
you. Obviously, I put Tom first because I knew I wanted to give him the time. It's important to hear, you know, his position. Steve, obviously, if you saw our emails earlier, Steve is dealing with a family issue, so we send our love and prayers to Steve and his family. We miss him. But Dan, do you have any updates on grounds and facilities, or that will be in your?
I'll do all that. in the
Perfect.
report. Yep.
Personnel, nothing new on personnel. Obviously, we're starting spring up soon, so they'll add that in as well. Budget, if we could take a look at our budgets, if you guys have any questions now that we're starting to get back to normal, we're almost, I hate to call it, we're in endemic, and we want to look forward to spending lots of our money for this spring, get the fields fresh and ready. Thank you, guys.
Is there any feeling about having them come back to explain to us? Just to look at, so that we've done our job totally, or do we just get into the mud?
No, they will be back. Yes.
Linda, I promise you, Dan and I will
understand
schedule
Tom's
them.
passion, but we've been over this numerous times. Okay, they will come. We request them to come. They came. They gave their report. Tom was here. No one else was here. Okay, playground committee had a town meeting. Tom was there, and about 5 other residents showed up to a townwide meeting that everyone was invited to. Okay, so that's where we stand. They will come back again and give another report. And Tom will be here, because Tom is,
Yeah.
this is the way Tom feels.
Yeah.
And and I can attest to you, Tom, as well, with the construction of this, all that work that's gonna be done down there, no games are gonna be canceled, okay? There's gonna be no soccer games canceled, there's gonna be no lacrosse games canceled. I mean, I know you're understanding with it and your feelings with it, but it's not gonna happen. There's no games that get canceled here at Mariel when you have a ton of people here and people using the playground or at the library or whatever. So that's not gonna happen at Fred Wolf. No matter what happens down there in the future, your soccer games, your lacrosse games will never, ever be canceled.
So we can close the playground if the parking lot's full?
I'm not gonna close the playground, but I'm saying, you don't close the playground here.
Let me just.
Tom, I don't wanna argue.
No,
I'm
no,
not
it's not
arguing.
argument, just
You
another
said your
point.
piece.
Another point.
And this agenda, this wasn't an attack on this whole thing tonight. But you were here to give your update, and you did, and you voiced your opinion under public dialogue with the playground. We know your opinion on the playground.
Just the
But
Jim.
nothing is gonna be canceled.
Understand.
That's all you need to know.
Jim, you know that the last time there was a lacrosse tournament there, cars were blocked up all the way up Hollow Road, all the way to Ridge Road. So at that point, you have gridlock. Nobody's going anywhere. Something's got to be canceled. Something will be canceled. With a $500,000 playground is a magnet that for children that you won't believe until you see it. Okay, I went to Pease Road playground, much smaller playground. There was no place to park, and a little kid was running right through the parking lot.
Thank you, Tom. Linda, we will, you're
That
heard.
explains it.
Yeah, and we also, we'll gather more data and we'll have them back when you guys
I
want.
was the one that asked about a bathroom for the kids. That is not any part of this large.
We're working on that as well.
That's
Tom's
right.
been,
Possibility down the road as well.
yeah, Tom's been working with that too, as well as lacrosse. We do have to have bathroom facilities. That was also one of our phases.
As the,
Yeah, that would be very important that we have
I
facilities
have
down
3
there.
little kids, I know.
Yeah. We luckily, this commission has been, and this town has been very supportive to both soccer and lacrosse in putting not just 1 or 2, but enough porta potties to support our activities down there. We've never not had enough in support. I know that because I've been down there for years, and both of them. But do we need a permanent facility? We could use that. But we could use a lot of things. So that's part of the,
It's how we spend our money
Yeah.
and how we name it.
it goes out a lot quicker than it comes in, right? It's all good. But we're on top of this for you, okay? Yeah. Jim Zioli.
Don't worry, I've been here the whole time. I listened to how bad I am and how mean I am from these people who want to say it. I stood in the stairwell to listen, which is absolute crap. People got to be afraid. People got to be afraid
Every
of
time I
me.
sit down, you're going to degrade me? Is that what you're
Okay, gentlemen.
That's not it at all.
Yeah, that's
I-
what you do. Every
Tom,
meeting.
you had your
Well,
moment.
you had your
Jim.
moment, Tom, and I
Jim
think
talk.
it's fair
Yeah.
for a rebuttal.
Go right ahead.
Because the traffic jams that Mr. Pisano is talking about happened by lacrosse and soccer. It had nothing to do with a playground.
Yep.
Zero. It already happened last year. Had absolutely nothing to do with the kids' playground. So to say that the kids' playground is going to jam up the parking lot is not correct. And there is additional parking planned as part of the playground development on the back side of it, far away from the parking that was put in for the original development. So to say that you're going to cut people off from Bridgeport or New Haven that are coming to the playground, I would be very careful of a statement like that right off the bat in this day and age. But there is additional separate parking planned for the playground. And that was taken into scope. This board met and saw the plans and saw the review, and that playground is going where, on that plan that Mr. Pisano keeps referring to, there were tennis courts and things planned for. Unfortunately, the Army Corps of Engineers screwed up the plan a little bit, but there's still over 75 acres down there that the town owns. And to have him keep harping on one cornfield is ridiculous. He took the Cherry Ground when they bought that. There were 2 fields there that he took to develop for his soccer that were already cleared fields. He doesn't want to put the extra energy in to clearing a piece of land as we just did for some of the other. I would think you as a Park and Rec Commission, and you want a report from him for his 350 children that are signed up for fall soccer and spring soccer, and you're concerned about the safety of children, come on a Sunday, and I've been to Wolf Park on a Sunday, as he said I never have been, because I had to look at what he was talking about. Come over here with the little kids, with all the cars parked up along Tyler City Road, driven into the fence, in between the no parking signs. That's safe right there. People crossing Tyler City with their children and some without. That's safe. People crossing Orange Center Road. All of a sudden, it's a problem in an interior parking lot, but it isn't a problem crossing from the church lot, the library lot, or parking head into the fence in between the no parking signs along Tyler City Road. I think there's a double standard there that goes. If I were the Park and Rec Commission, I would be asking to see their financial report. Their March 2020 501 report to the IRS had almost $212,000 in it. For some reason, there is no report for their March 21 filing, and there is no report yet for the March 22 filing, which is a year in arrears. But right now, the most recent report is their 20 report, and it's $211,000 and change. Ask for that report. You have men going down there mowing the grass every week.
Yep.
You have men going down there at your expense, spray painting the lines, maintaining the lines down there. You might get a stipend towards that. You have men going down there doing emptying the garbage. You have the town of Orange paying the water bill. He's got over $200,000 in the bank. Maybe they need to be billed for some of what they do. He spends $6,500 to have a landscaper maintain the grass. That's it. For the town's benefit. There are benefits to our families and our children, which I appreciate. I absolutely do. But don't throw stones at me as to what I say or what I do. This group sat and saw the layout for the playground, where it was going to go on that grounds down there, and all that went with it.
Yep.
The clearing process, all of it. It was approved by the Board of Selectmen and reviewed by this board. So for him to stand there and say, you never took action on it, you didn't have to, because it was acted on by the Board of Selectmen. You all did review it, however.
We did.
So, now he wants to start a petition, and he sits there and shakes his head and says, oh, no, it needs to go on the other side. Know why? Because he doesn't want it near his part of Wolf Park, because he is the founding member of Wolf Park for his soccer fields. He took 2 cherry cornfields there and built his soccer fields on that. They put gravel in for a parking lot that needs a lot more gravel or some paving now. $211,000 in the bank. Buy a few loads of gravel and have it spread over there. No, we're going to pass it on to the town to do. A nonprofit shouldn't have $211,000 in the bank. That is growing. There's 2 more reports should have come out on that. Why don't you share with this board a full financial report? Do that.
Jim,
No, we're not getting back and forth.
Jim,
Yeah.
you weren't on the agenda here tonight.
You're right,
so-
but I'm the first selectman, and you and the other lady personally attacked me. So unfortunately for you, Tom, you want to attack, I have the right to respond.
Okay, good enough.
You believe what you believe.
We will review. my-
You have no authority with anything. Zero.
I will review my 990 with everybody, and maybe Jim will be educated how those things work.
I won't be
It's
educated.
an asset
Be-
thing. It's not.
Okay.
money.
Well,
It's the
I think the commission is clear. Thank you. I think we, yeah.
I think
obviously-
that soccer can afford to fund some more of their process over there besides what is being
Is that the way you get
funded.
back at people,
So
Jim?
what are we on?
No,
Okay.
I brought it up,
So
I
we're-
brought it up before, Tom.
Yeah, I know.
I brought it
I'll
up
come to
before.
the meeting, Jim.
Okay,
We'll finish
can
this.
we get on
Mrs.
that?
Davis?
We'll finish
I'd
it.
like
Yeah,
to-
Mrs. Davis?
I'd like to move on.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are on right now, we went over budget. Did anyone have any budget? Budget look good. We're good right now. Okay. Director's report?
Okay. A few things to go over, programming wise, grounds wise. For those at home, registration for our spring programs, upcoming swim lessons, and our summer day camp will be on Monday, April 4th, at the Park and Rec office for Orange residents. I will tell you at home and those here, the swim lessons for the last session filled up within one day. Didn't even get to the following week for non-residents to even get a shot with the lessons. So if you are planning on the swim lessons alone, I would get there early. First person in line the last time was there before 7 a.m., waiting outside the door for the building to open at 7 a.m. Spring program wise, summer day camp wise, it's not going to fill up that first day. Swim lessons possibly will, so I'm giving you fair warning now.
Sign up for swim lessons,
Okay.
everyone.
All of our program and swim lesson information has been added to our website. The only thing that's not updated on the website is the traveling teens information. I do have the info for registration for traveling teens. Registration for traveling teens will begin on April 18th for residents of Orange. Registration will begin on April 25th for non-residents. All of the trips and information for traveling teens will be posted within the next week or so. We're still planning the trips. We do not want to post the calendar until it's complete. But registration is starting on the 18th of April for residents of Orange for traveling teens, and then the following week, the 25th of April for non-residents. Again, all information is on the website and in our office except for traveling teens. Getting back to the parks, our seasonal maintenance grounds crew staff members will begin working on Monday, April 4th as well. We are going to have three back, including with Chris and Bob. So they're starting on the 4th as well.
Dan, do we find out, I'm sorry to interrupt, but do we find out when Orange Little League is doing their cleanup so that?
Don't have that exact date. I know it's coming up very
Okay,
soon.
that's all that. I just so Chris has some support down
Oh,
there.
he knows. Yeah,
Because I know they've been
his
down
kids
there.
are involved with Little
Okay,
League now,
okay,
so
good.
he's right on top
He's
of
knee
it.
deep and I'm out the other side, yeah.
So he knows. They may have even started some of it
Good,
already.
okay.
I was down there today. I was at Fred Wolf today.
Gotcha,
Thank you. As soon as it starts getting a little warmer, a little nicer, everybody thinks like the fields are automatically
Good,
ready.
ready. We got a lot of work to do.
People were out there last week. I mean, that's fine. They're public fields. But you still, you take the tarps off the field, you got to put them back on.
Yep.
The L screens, especially on the baseball fields, don't leave them in front of the pitcher's mound. They tear it apart. Same thing Tom will tell you with the goal. Just don't go down to Fred Wolf and move goals and all that. Just stay away.
Just
Until-
spend that extra 5 minutes
the date
after
we
you're
always
done.
use for Park and Rec is April 1st.
Yeah.
Okay, April 1st. If everything's okay, we start giving out the permits for the fields on April 1st in our office, especially for Little League practices and softball practices and so on and so forth.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay? And we don't want to do it on Monday, April 4th, because we're going to have registration going on. We don't need our phones ringing off the hook for permits. Same thing, we talked earlier too with, if you are interested in the tennis courts, using those in the pickleball courts,
Great.
call to get a permit if you feel the public is going to be on there using them. You're more than welcome to call and get an hour or two permit. Okay, we can't give you 4 or 5 of them. We can give you 1 or 2. Okay? So if you're interested in that and you feel that they're going to be used or booked, please call the office. You're more than welcome to get a tennis court or pickleball court permit. Programming wise, I'd like to thank our staff and the people that we had working our youth basketball this year. It was a modified league as we went over. We ran it for 2 sessions, 6 weeks each, total of 12 weeks, and we had to use our little gym. We did it.
Congrats.
The 7 and 8-year-olds played on Saturdays, boys and girls, with regular rules like we did 5-on-5. 9 years old and up, obviously we went over this previous months, they had to do 3-on-3. That court that you all know at High Plains is way too small. But we got through it. I would like to thank all of our volunteer coaches, our staff, parents and players. We got through it, we did it. Hopefully next year, we get back into the Orange schools for practices and games, and get back into Amity Middle School for games on Saturdays. Hopefully, we will be able to, but it was a successful year with the modifications. We did the best we could. Our men's softball league will be running again this year. All the information went out to all the teams last week. We'll be playing on Mondays and Wednesdays once again. The Tuesday night league fizzled out last year. The interest isn't there, but we will have 6 teams on Monday, 6 teams on Wednesday as well. I already went over the spring information. That's all updated on the website and the dates for registration. Our full day ski trip to Berkshire Mountain East was last Friday. It went well. 30 children participated. It was a beautiful day. It was like 65 degrees that Friday, and everything went well. We are still taking registrations for April vacation camp. We take 40 kids. As of today, we had close to 30 still that are signed up. We still have about 9 to 10 spots left. So if you're interested in that, and you're somebody that's last minute, April vacation camp is on the horizon.
Nice.
That is April 11th, Monday, April 11th through Thursday, April 14th. There's no camp on Friday because that is the Good Friday holiday. And that's about it.
Well, that's a
I
mouthful.
don't have, I will send you the aquatics report. That was not attached in here. But the main thing with aquatics is that swim lesson registration is Monday, April 4th. And I will email you Sue's aquatics report tomorrow. It was not, must have been.
And Sue did the snow trips, right? The ski trips with.
The ski trips are done. She did that
She
as
did
well.
that.
And
Sue
she
is
ran
fantastic.
That, and she ran that one-day trip as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Lynn
And I heard.
Lynn and Stephanie went on the trip as well because there was no school that day
Yeah.
on Friday.
Wow,
Last
that's
Friday,
right.
So I'd like to thank all them for all their efforts. They help out in every which way possible, programming-wise, office-wise, event-wise, everything. So
We thank you
Thank
and
you to them.
we thank you and
no,
your
they
team.
do a lot
Dan.
for me.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So I thank them
And
personally.
we too.
I think I thank
Doing
them.
orange.
Try to thank them every month.
Yeah.
So.
Terrific.
So that's and that's we'll finish up. So thank you, Dan.
Yep.
We'll finish up. Obviously, we all volunteer. Everyone at this table has volunteered a lot of time. So have the 2 gentlemen that have a disagreement about something, but that's what makes town great. It's not always easy. It's difficult. We have to make sure everyone feels heard and at least has a voice at the table. There's always different processes and different things, and we have to make some judgments sometimes, and we have to be a voice of reason. I want to thank you guys too for sitting and being so professional and listening to Tom and Jim. And obviously, this isn't new information. This is something that still is very deep and means a lot to both of them. So as a committee and a commission, I think it's our job to continue to always ask questions, to gather information, to support our town, because as really a nonpartisan group, we do a great job for offering a lot of things, as my former chair would say, and you members who know him really well. We offer a lot of things in Orange that a lot bigger towns struggle to offer. And Dan and his team do that for us, and it's not always simple. So I thank you guys, and and these are, it wasn't the easiest meetings, but we will move on, and we're a good force. Any comments or thoughts from any of the commission members? Can I have a motion? Motion to adjourn. Linda, do I have a second? Second by Jack. All in favor? Aye. Have a good night, Orange.
Thank you, everybody.
Jimmy, you did a nice job.
I think